everyone, and welcome back to the Project Manga Podcast, where we cover One Piece, My Hero Academia, Black Clover, Mashle, Dr. Stone, and Jujutsu Kaisen, week to week. Back this week to discuss Weekly Shonen Jump issue number 17. I'm your host, Knox.
And I'm Nickums.
And before we get into the conversation tonight, of course, we'd like you to take a look at the description down below. That's going to have all of our links from social media to Discord to other online ways that you can listen to the Project Manga Podcast like Spotify and Apple. Ways that you can support what we do here at Project Manga by visiting our online store and Patreon. And then, of course, there's going to be timestamps down below. Those will help you navigate yourself throughout the video so that you can skip the segments for the series you're not yet current in. But getting into the discussion tonight, Weekly Shonen Jump issue number 17. No Dr. Stone.
Yeah.
I don't think I recall a time where it's ever been on break since we started reviewing it.
I think so, too, yeah.
And
it caught me off guard. I wasn't really assuming it was going to be on break.
Me neither. I didn't see a message for it, and I'm like really waiting for this next chapter, so it's like doubly like heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But without Dr. Stone, we still have a pretty big week, and we'll kick it off with Jujutsu Kaisen, chapter 144, That Place. Goddamn. Big chapter.
Lot in this chapter, for sure.
Yes. Picking up with the conversation with Megumi and Yuji and Yuta. I love the dynamic of these three, dude.
Yeah.
I hope these three, and of course I hope Nobara comes back, which we can talk about too. But I mean, this three right now is cool. You know what I mean? I want to see like these three like fight together.
Right. For sure. Yeah. and Choso too. I'm actually liking Choso, and he's almost comic relief to a degree, right?
Right.
Just sneaking in there like, hey guys, I know some stuff.
Yeah, and Gege is just like using his like eerie creepiness as the comic relief like most of the time, which is I like that. I like that because you don't want to change his personality up too much. So like, how do you make a character like that funny?
Yeah.
As an example.
But yeah, like with Yuji even saying like, yo, if I switch with Sukuna, just kill me. You know what I mean? It's like, whoa, okay.
It's like, Yuta, you could do it. I think that's that's one thing I noticed in the difference from like the fan scan to the official for this chapter of Jujutsu Kaisen. It felt like he it's still the same message, but I just remember when I read in the fan scan, I can't remember exactly what he said, but it was like I think you're the most capable, or something like that.
Sure.
I think you'd be the one out of all of us who could do it if someone needed it. It just sounded a little bit more personal.
Sure. Yeah.
But either way, this is totally fine.
For sure.
But yeah, they're like, okay, let's go back to Jujutsu High, contact Master Tengen. We need to figure out how to remove the seal on this prison realm. And I was like, buddy, we already got the prison realm like explanation from Geto. But then I'm thinking about it and I'm like, well, no, because Gojo is not like, cause he said the only way that you can get out is if the current inhabitant dies or something.
Okay.
Or and I don't know if Geto said that he could unseal it himself if he wanted to. I can't remember. But I mean, like, Gojo's obviously not going to die in the box. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like,
but it's just like, for example, Yuta broke a binding vow by killing, quote unquote, Yuji and immediately reviving him, right? So like, there are edge cases to these rules, even when you're talking about death. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I'm just trying to think about like what Master Tengen would even do. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
And I know that he, actually, our buddy Joe is reading Jujutsu Kaisen right now, and he was just reading in Hidden Inventory.
Sure.
And that guy with like the welt on his forehead that Toji turns the body into, Amanai's body into at the Time Vessel Corporation or whatever. He says that Master Tengen was like someone who like went and like preached Buddhism in Japan for like a lot of his life or whatever. Sure. And then they said that the prison realm is the remains of like an old ass Buddhist monk.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah. In that scene.
Sure.
In that scene, I think Geto is explaining or talking about the prison realm to Jogo in that cafeteria. I think is the scene.
Sure.
When he tells him what the prison realm even is, and he was like, "Yeah, it's a living barrier," is what he calls it. He says it's a living barrier made of like this old ass monk or whatever. You know what I mean? So if Tengen is who knows how old, You know what I mean? And this monk is old as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe the ages, maybe the time periods match up, and Tengen knew
Right.
this dude. And
Same dude even, maybe?
Oh shit. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Tengen just needs to speak to the box and be like, "Hey, bro, remember when I got you out that jam back in the Heian era? I need you to let my homeboy out this box real quick." You know what I'm saying?
Oh my god.
It's not gonna happen that way. Oh my god.
No.
But yeah, there is a cool link there, I think. But,
for sure. And even if they can't do anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
If Tengen told them like there's nothing you can do, like just don't worry about it, right? At least that lets them focus their energies elsewhere.
Yes,
right.
Exactly.
Just ignore it then, right? Like let Gojo get himself out somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Gojo, shit. The point that you just made, about the binding vow that Yuta broke by killing Yuji and instantly reverse curse techniquing it. Shit, dude, Gojo could just fucking like kill himself real quick and reverse curse technique and shit. He already died once. You know what I mean? When Toji fucking stabbed him in the brain.
Oh, right.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like Toji fucking like, I literally just reread that shit essentially, and fucking
sure.
Toji, like, he said as soon as Toji stabbed him in the throat with the inverted spear of heaven, he quit fighting like that moment and just focused on like reverse curse technique. So I don't know if, I mean, that was 11 years ago, you know what I mean? So if Gojo is, obviously much better than he is now than he was back then at reverse curse technique. So I would assume that he's got a pretty quick reverse curse technique now at this point. You know what I mean? So if Yuta can stab Yuji and then instantly heal it, then Gojo could fucking turn his brain off and turn it back. I don't fucking know, dude.
My god.
But yeah, that would be a cool little, that would be a crazy way to loophole the box, though. You know what I mean? Especially since there's evidence of similar things working out in the story. So that'd be wild. I don't know.
But that's only if Gojo knows to do that, right?
Yeah.
So they maybe Tengen will tell them how to talk to Gojo in the box. Like can't get him out, but can at least like send him a message, and the message could be like, try killing yourself. I don't know,
Bro, they're definitely going to talk to each other like from this box, bro. Like that is going to be a scene that we get eventually, some kind of way. I don't know if Tengen's gonna do it, but like there will be communication through this box at one point, and that would be so crazy if we saw that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then Choso comes in, and they're trying to get through this Tengen barrier, and he's like, "Hey, like Mahito went in there and got me and my bros, right? The three Curse Womb death paintings, right?
Right.
So Mahito did it, like, and Mahito must have done it by using his soul manipulation ability to see where souls are.
Sure.
And so that's how he found the Curse Womb death paintings, because they have souls, right?
Right.
And so, but now Choso, since he has his blood ability and his maybe some sort of brotherly connection, but at least his blood ability can like hone in on them too, so he can do almost the exact same thing, and therefore also get to the Tengen. I love that explanation.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And see, Gege is always gonna be right there with logically consistent plot points, and and just factoring in all of those like area or those branches of thought webs that come out from like any situation that you're writing in your story. You know what I mean? Like if X and Y person run into Z person right now, what are all the things X person will think about it? What are all the things Y person will think about it? What are the kind of conversations will they have? What kind of moves will they try to make? I feel like there's just like whenever anything happens in Jujutsu Kaisen, Gege just has like sheets upon sheets of possibilities, and like just narrowing down like the most logical outcome possible from a litany of possibilities. And it feels like that in Jujutsu Kaisen the way it feels like that in Hunter x Hunter, you know what I mean?
Right.
So when you hear, this beautifully, consistent explanation from Choso, it's just like, okay, yes.
For sure. But of course, can't not talk about this scene and not talk about Kuisaki, right? Nobara, right? So like Megumi doesn't say necessarily anything, right? But damn, like obviously Yuji very much assumes the worst, right?
Yeah, and Gege's not just gonna brush past this confirmation this way. A lot of people think Kugisaki is just gonna jump out of a fucking present the way that Yuji did after he died, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like Megumi's just like playing along right here. Like Nobara has like told him like you better fucking act like I'm dead when you ask me. Yeah, and he's like, all right, bro, like it's kind of fucked up considering the situation, but like, yeah, he totally got us. Like, well, I don't know. That's just wishful thinking, maybe.
Yeah.
Because like I really don't think that this situation calls for
No,
a joke
a prank.
like that.
Yeah.
A prank like that. But
When Yuji's like, yeah, Yuji's so upset with himself and how just super sad and like him. This is not the time to lie about this. You know what I mean?
Exactly. But hey, you want to know what? It could also be more than a lie. You know, Nobara could come back in a super crazy surprise, and we could get writing that says it was done for more of a reason than just to get back at Yuji for dying and jumping out of a present. I don't fucking know.
Right.
But either way, like this scene, like does not feel like a proper death confirmation to me. You know what I mean? It's very quick.
I agree.
And it's very brushed past, and it goes like right into comedy. You know what I mean? Like that's not right. That's not right. This is not legit at all. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
and even if Megumi, even if Megumi does think Kugisaki's dead, he could be wrong, right?
Exactly.
So I don't know. There's a lot of outs here, and I agree with you. Like narratively here, it doesn't feel like a complete reveal. You know.
And you never know too, because like man, now that I'm thinking about it, this birthday present Nobara trick. As bad as bad of timing as it would be to do that. So like excluding that awkward timing situation, like I'm thinking of Shoko was basically Gojo's Nobara. Shoko could have a similar sense of humor as Gojo after he fixes Nobara, or after she fixes Nobara. You know what I mean? Just tells everyone she's dead or something. I don't fucking know, dude. Right, I'm trying to think of ways that this confirmation from Megumi is just not legit. I think I like where you're going the most, where he just thinks that it's true, but it's just not. Because I don't know. The situation does not call for a prank, like we've said a million times, and this just doesn't feel right, man. But,
Right.
But yeah, so we get Maki, seeing Maki for the first time, confirmation of Maki's survival.
Damn.
Her new design is so good. I feel so bad for her, but she looks so badass, fam. And I love how no one, I mean, I don't know, maybe we'll get insight into Maki, how Maki like really feels about things, but I mean, like she looks like this isn't the same Maki, but she doesn't really look like she's dwelling on anything too much. You know what I mean? Like she looks like she's already kind of moved past everything. And who knows if we'll get a spotlight on her immediately coming out of the Shibuya incident and her psyche and whatnot. But I think it's cool how Gege shows all of this damage and all of this aftermath. And like we get like really intense reactions from Yuji. But other than that, everyone's like, I'm sure that we know because of how well the world of Jujutsu Kaisen has been laid out that everyone is struggling regardless of whether or not they say it, because like these characters are as transparent as they are now at this point, to where we don't necessarily need everyone's individual post Shibuya incident reaction. We could totally get it and that would be totally fine, but also like the way that they're so easy to move on from trauma is one thing that we have seen already in Jujutsu Kaisen coming out of the exchange event arc. You know what I mean? So it doesn't feel too weird that we're not getting like massive self-reflection chapters, but at the same time I feel like as long as we see that through Yuji, that's probably the most important, and then everything else kind of ripples out from him at the epicenter in regard to that, in my opinion. But seeing Maki here just chilling, just having regular conversations, not dwelling on her injury, her damage, what this means for the future of her goals and motivations. She seems like she's ready to get right back in the kitchen, you know what I mean? So like that's really fucking cool.
For sure. And I love that like Yuki Tsukumo mentions that it was her toughness, her physical toughness that saved her life, not some sort of like ability, curse, tolerance or whatever, right? Like she's just that strong.
Yes.
That Naobito died and she did not. Super badass.
Love that.
The thing that I don't fully understand is her comment on page 9 in the bottom left, where Yuki Tsukumo says like, it's too bad about the business with the head of the family, obviously referring to Naobito, right? And then Maki says, well, I wasn't going for it.
Right.
Like, what? Isn't she going for the head of the, like, isn't she trying to be the head of the family? And isn't this good? Like, quote unquote, that the head of the family is not there. Therefore, there's a gap for her to, potentially fill. She's not going to, right? Because of Naoya and everyone else. But like, things are moving along, right? Like,
yeah, this confuses me too, and I swear I'm going back into the scan now to see how it was. Yeah, no, even on the site that usually has the scans, it's been updated by the official at this point. So
sure,
I don't have any quick way of going back to look at the scans
Yep.
that I read, but I remember it sounding a little bit different in the scan. I have no idea why.
Right.
Why this dialogue is here like this, because I could have sworn she was trying to be the head of the clan too, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe for some reason that we didn't get on panel, her motivations changed since the last time she declared what she wanted to do. So that could be an explanation, and then maybe Gege will dive into that explanation a little bit later.
Right.
But that's really the only thing that I have for that right now.
Or assuming the translation is correct, right? Even going for it is a pretty open-ended phrase, right?
Right.
So maybe, Tsukumo says, like, it's too bad about the business with the head of the family. Okay. You could interpret that to mean, sucks now Bito's dead, right? I mean, like, obviously he was a powerful ally or whatever.
Right.
And then maybe Maki's saying, like, well, I mean, I wasn't really trying to save him either, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't going for it. I wasn't trying to put myself out there to defend his life.
I like that. Oh my God, dude, yes. I wasn't too bad about the business with the head of the family. Well, I wasn't going for it could totally mean I wasn't really trying to ensure his survival.
Yeah. So not too bad, It's not too bad. I don't know. It's fine.
I never really liked that motherfucker anyway. Oh, dude, that's cool. Yeah, maybe it's that. Hell yeah.
And I love more Choso humor, like Maki's like, okay, like what about the barrier, right? And then she's asking Megumi, and Megumi's about to reply, and then Choso comes in like, oh, I'll explain.
Hand on the shoulder, like,
yeah.
Oh. Like, man, just because you've seen Yuji grabbing my shoulder and patting me on the back don't mean that you're, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
Right. But yeah, then he explains, and then I love this humor going into very serious stuff actually to me, right? Like, but who is this guy? Humor, obviously.
Yes.
But then Yuji, like, just think of him as my big brother. It's like,
yes.
And then Choso's stoked.
Yes.
Choso is so stoked about this. Like, Yuji!
Yes. And I love how, like, it's just like he knows that that's what Choso wants to hear. Knows that Choso is geeked behind him, but still is just like, all right, everybody, let's get out of here. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And I love how this humor is used here in this very subtle way. It hits the exact, like, comedic beat that it needs to, but also, like, it doesn't take away. It's also, like, being used as, like, growth inside of Yuji and Choso. You know what I mean? Like, this is actually, like, this is funny right now, but this is actually serious for the growth of these characters.
Absolutely.
I mean? And it's crazy how Gege can balance that like that.
Yes,
as perfectly as they do.
100%. Especially, I was going to say, because Yuji saying, like, for now, think of him as my big brother. As you're kind of saying, right? Like, he could be kind of tricking Choso, right? Definitely could be. But I think he actually believes it now. Because remember, he had that flashback thought, that memory, which could have been a false memory, right?
Yeah.
But he had that memory of his father with him, and then, Noritoshi Kamo comes in the room.
Yeah.
And remember, Choso earlier had said, like, remember, don't you remember? This dude is, like, your parent, right? And I think Yuji is maybe connecting the dots, and his current position is like, damn, maybe he is my brother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it
increases
is exactly
that mystery.
like that. Yeah, absolutely, because Yuji has that dream literally like a couple chapters after Choso says that stuff about his dad. But the thing that makes it weird, which is also just really well done by Gege, is that Choso says your dad had these scars. Your father had these scars because his father was the one that had the scars. You know what I mean? It was actually Noritoshi Kamo's body that, did the thing. You know what I mean? So that's what Choso's remembering. So he's like, Yuji, you have to have the same father. Yeah. But it is the same father, but it was just in a woman body. You know what I mean? So it's just like it's just so ridiculous, bro.
Yeah.
But I love what you just said though. That's so good. I think that plays into exactly why Yuji said, just call him my brother at this point.
Yep. Oh, and then this like this Tengen space or whatever, this door opening up into fucking trees. Oh my god, this is so cool. I love this. I think it's so
Oh
cool.
my god, dude, this page, Gege, you gave me a layup of a thumbnail this week because this fucking page is so. I love when Gege has the super high detailed art. You know what I mean? You know, and especially with like this, like it's almost as if it's like negative space. You know what I mean? Like you inverted it. You know what I mean? But like that's just the effect used to show the darkness, which is awesome with the contrast of the tree shading.
Right.
Beautiful.
For sure.
Fucking beautiful, dude. So I'm confused here on 14 and 15.
Okay.
Let's go. Deep in, there's an elevator to the tomb. So we see them on page 12 at the top of this opening.
Yeah.
The door is open. Then they're looking out. Let's go. Deep in, there's an elevator to the tomb. Then they're walking towards a shed.
Yeah.
Yuji and everyone are ahead of Choso. Yuji's like, Choso. And he's like, I know. And then he goes to this door and he's like, I'll return. Just wait a little longer. But they're still walking away from him as he's at this door. But then the next scene is them all together in this elevator going down.
So how I interpret this progression of panels is that, okay, top of 14, yes, they are up at that door above the trees.
Oh my god,
they
the
jump
shed
down.
Yes, god.
They jump down, they walk ahead, they get to the shed, they pass the shed, Choso he feels his brother's in the shed. Yuji stays behind and says like, yo, Choso, like we can't be dawdling here with your brothers, right?
Yep.
I know. I'll return, bros. Just wait a little longer. Then they keep going to the elevator.
Right, so he goes into the warehouse, grabs his brothers.
Well, not yet. He didn't grab them yet.
Oh,
he can come back anytime. He can come back anytime.
Yes, they're gonna grab the bros on the way out.
Right, or a completely different time. Choso can come here anytime he wants.
Right, okay, so they're passing by, they're walking towards the elevator. Choso sees
Choso
the
really
warehouse.
wants to.
Choso's like, this is my brothers are here. Yuji's like, yo, chill. We got things we got to do. And he's like, all right, bet. So he's talking to the rest of the paintings through the wall, not Yuji. He's like, I'll return. Wait just a little longer. My bros. And then they all leave from that warehouse to jump in this elevator.
Yes.
And okay.
Yes. Okay. Exactly. Yep.
Wonderful. Because I was like, oh my god! Like I was like so confused by this for some reason, and then literally as soon as I finished explaining what I was confused about, and you were like, "Oh wait, no, I think what it is," and you didn't even say anything yet, and I was just like, "Oh my god!"
yeah.
Yeah, hilarious. But yeah, so they go back into this area, and this is like the same place that like Toji went to town on fucking Geto and Amanai and Kuroi. You know what I mean? And their blood is still there.
Yes, I love that. I love that they're back here at a previous scene. It's so cool.
Yeah, that is really cool. I knew that we had to come back here at some point because Gege fucking snapped on that double spread showing like the tree and like the underground like city area. And I remember being like, what is going on with this? And then they spent like no time there just to get like folded up, you know, and then you leave and I'm like, oh, no. We're seeing this landscape again. Like, I promise you, you know what I mean? So, but it's crazy that this blood is still here. That's so grimy. Like, no. And then, okay. I like how Yuki here is like, it was 11 years ago now that I think about it. That's when everything began to get distorted. You know what I mean?
Very mysterious.
And, you know, and like, we've been talking about it on this show, how like everything seems to kind of be revolving around the time vessel organization still in regard to these bodies that never made it to the morgue, like you know, like Ghettos, and who got, you know, Toshifu. How did the seance lady get Toshifu Shigeru's DNA? You know what I mean? Like things like that, like all of this stuff, you know what I mean, is all like all of these chickens are about to come home to roost, bro. Like we're about to start getting like crazy answers to a lot of things, I feel like, pretty soon. Yeah. Especially now that we're here with Tengen. It's reminding me a lot of like the Fudo Mio-O scene in Samurai 8 when fucking like Hachimaru, like went into that Fudo Myo space and just learned the fucking truth of the universe and shit. I hope we get crazy ass information like that. But Tengen looks like he's gonna be a fucking dick, and he's gonna like super Yoda it and just speak in fucking riddles, and no one's gonna understand what the fuck he's talking about. And then it's gonna be a story arc to figure out what his riddles were or some shit. I don't fucking know, but like he looks like he is not going to give information easily.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
because already, so the first two things we've seen from this character, right? He doesn't immediately appear. It's only when everyone's like, all right, let's get out of here. This dude's not gonna fucking show up. And then he's like, oh, leaving so soon. You know what I mean? Like already trolling.
Yeah.
And then when he is talking to everyone, right? He goes, child of the Zenin. Now, of course, like child here could be plural. Yep. Maybe depends on I don't know the Japanese, right? But like, I'm pretty sure the plural could still be either child or children here.
Right,
so he could be referring to Maki and Megumi at the same time, or just Megumi.
Right.
Michizane's descendant, that's Yuta.
Yep.
Death Painting Womb, that's Choso, and then Sukuna's vessel is obviously Yuji. But like, does anyone know that Choso is a death painting womb? Like, why would you say it like that, right? Like, you're being purposefully obtuse, right? Like, you're trying to sound really cool and very knowledgeable, and he is, right? But I totally agree with your thinking that this dude is going to be a dick.
Yeah, because like also like if he's saying child of the Zenin and he just means Megumi, then that means that he's talking to everyone here but the women. You know what I mean? So it's like that's another thing. It's like. And we just got all like the Zenin clan stuff, you know what I mean? Like super hardcore misogyny and sexism going on, you know what I mean? So it's like,
especially if you go back, what, like 1,000 years?
Yeah.
Like how old is Tengen?
Heian era at least.
Yeah,
you know what I
like
mean?
So 1,000 years old or whatever.
Yeah,
so like definitely this dude might be a raging misogynist.
Yeah, you never know, man. Those old ideals, are hard to shake those off. You know what I'm saying? So. I don't know,
especially if you're in the ground talking to no women, right?
Right. Definitely no women, because you look like a fucking thumb.
Oh my god.
Someone said someone put a comparison on Twitter. You remember Spy Kids 3D?
No, I never saw that one.
Oh, it's the one with Sylvester Stallone.
Okay.
Is the main villain, and like his little minions are just giant thumb bodies. No faces, just thumbs. With other like finger appendages for arms and legs, literally just like a hand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like someone put that side by side on Twitter, just fucking ended my life, bro. Someone said he looked like a fucking like thing of toothpaste. Okay. Oh my god.
He does, yeah. His clothes do look like the tube of a toothpaste, right? Yeah. Like you could roll this guy up.
Get that last little bit out. make it last till next check.
Oh my god.
Oh no. Oh man. But yeah, dude, I'm like so excited for the next chapter, but it's going on break. I feel like multiple things in Jump are on break next week. So it's like and it's like, man, we're at such crazy points in these stories. You can't do this to me. But yeah. Take your breaks. You need your breaks, mangaka.
For sure. For sure.
God damn, what a cliffhanger to leave us on for 2 weeks, man. I don't know if I have anything more to say about this chapter.
No, anything else? That's all I had as well. Just a very, very interesting chapter. Got a lot of stuff being set up, and I'm super excited for next time. Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of the bigger setup chapters that I've like seen in Jujutsu Kaisen. Usually in Jujutsu, like things kind of just get right to the point. Or it's left on something that doesn't like hype something up like crazy, unless we're in the middle of like end game conflicts, you know what I mean, of a story arc. Then like you don't usually see wild setup chapters like these, you know what I mean?
Right.
So
totally agree. But yeah, that's all I had.
Yeah, me too, man. Good shit. Okay, getting into Mashle, Magic and Muscles, chapter 56, Mash Burn Dead. And the Visionary of Fire, this color page, this color cover.
Ooh.
Oh, man. This dude's sword.
It looks so sick.
The colors.
Now, did you notice that they are playing the game here? They're playing You Look, You Lose.
I didn't notice that. No.
When I read it again, I was like, but why is Mash even on the cover? Like, it's so simple of a Mash, you know? And he's looking right where this dude is pointing. Caldo Gehenna.
Dude,
yeah, just looking right where he's
That
pointing.
is a great spot, bro. Wow. Beautiful.
But I love his sword, though.
Dude, the sword is crazy. I need to see it used. Look at the tempering. Look at the fucking designs in the middle, bro.
I just believe that the red is like light up, you know what I mean? It's like, it's like glowing, like magic, you know, kind of red. Ooh,
no, bro. If we get like not fire like we normally see it, where it's like flaming, you know, sending fireballs and flaming swords. What if it's just heat, just raw heat?
Yo,
you can't even touch this thing. You know what I mean?
Right,
like, it's fucking you up on offense and defense. You know what I mean? Like type shit. You know, bro.
Love it.
But yeah, man, this chapter. Okay, so Margaret. Ever since I like felt those Hisoka vibes from him last chapter, I feel like I can't get that out of my head, and I feel like this chapter just even further kind of like reinforces that vibe. And I don't know if he even necessarily did anything specifically that said Hisoka. It's really just his demeanor, you know, and his kind of like aura, you know what I mean?
He loves to fight. He thinks he's the best.
Yes. And he doesn't want people interfering with his prey.
Right.
You know, because Buddy comes in and was like, hey man, you want me to do the tone put of this? Do you want me to hit him with the laxative? You know what I'm saying? He said, bink, you know what I'm saying? Sent that motherfucker flying. And I love the perspective on page 8 when Macaron flicks this dude, because it's a vertical page.
Sure.
But like you want to show that distance. So Komoto played into the distance that you get vertically. You want to show that this dude is going flying, but you don't have a double spread. You know what I mean? So it's like shoot him straight up.
Turn it 90 degrees.
I love that.
Yeah,
and I don't even know if that was like what it really is, but like that's like kind of just what it felt like to me was kind of the potential thought process from Komoto there.
No, I think you're totally right, because this dude is not being hit up in the air. He is being hit back, right? So like, but the back would be to the left normally. And so, yeah, as you say, like you have space for vertical, like, dude, just do vertical, just turn 90 degrees. Looks great. You know?
We're used to wacky dynamic angles in manga. You could do this shit all day.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. But to get back to Margaret or whatever, like and Hisoka, I feel also like the lipstick. I mean, I don't know if Hisoka actually wears lipstick, but I feel like he would. You know what I mean?
I think we got lipstick confirmation after Greed Island, when he literally came out the water and had like no makeup on and just had like regular ass lips. So I'm pretty sure bro puts lipstick on too. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. But yeah, even if he does or doesn't, obviously, like definitely he would. But yeah, no, I totally agree with you. I think that very, very, very similar characters for sure.
Like I want to go so far as to say Hisoka is literally the specific inspiration for this character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And like the his lines, right? Like just being in that position and being like kind of not a line, but a symbol, right? This is a musical note, right? Where like Hisoka has like the heart or like the teardrop and the diamond or whatever it is, right? Like on his face. So like, and those are symbols, right? They're not lines.
Yes.
Where a lot of characters in anime have lines, you know what I mean? Like in other like dot hex sign, you know, like war paint, that kind of stuff. Like this is very, very Hisoka.
And dude is very like chaotic neutral. You know what I mean? At least he kind of seems to be. Like obviously he's working with Order Madel probably to kill Mash. You know what I mean? Or whatever
He just wants to fight.
Whatever their plot is. But yeah, like he'll align himself with whoever's going to give him what he needs.
The rush
of fighting a strong opponent that just so happens to fall in line with assassination. So sure, I'll take that job, but I don't work for you. You know what I mean? Type shit. You know what I mean? You could feel that he doesn't really fuck with none of these people, and he's just out for his own whatever. You know what I mean? That's very Ahsoka.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Love
like
it.
no obvious moral alignment at all. You know, so.
And I love that in the same, you know, season or whatever, in the same group of chapters as Deku is getting spider sense, Mash is also getting spider sense. Mike P is like, hey,
yes. He sees like because of Macaron probably.
Yep, I think so. It's either Macaron or it's this Caldo Gehenna guy, but I think I would probably go with Margaret. Yeah.
If it's Margaret, and this is our first time that like we're getting information that Mash has a specific like power level detection,
Yes.
situation inside of his body, and the first thing that triggers it is Macaron when he already like kind of didn't he kind of square up with Rain too?
Mm-hmm.
Like they didn't fight, I don't
Mm-hmm.
think at all, from what I remember. But like,
Right.
Rain tried to pull up on Mash too, like kind of like sketchy after while they were in that in the Abel arc or whatever. You know what I mean? So he didn't get a pectoral ping, and when Rain came around, you know what I'm saying? So if Margaret's pinging Mike and Rain didn't, hold on, man.
Yes.
Uh-oh. But I love that he has like, this this thing, this danger. And obviously it's funny here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But Komoto is also really good at using comedy for things that are also probably serious, you know what I mean?
Oh,
like
yeah.
In the series, you know what I mean? Like just like we were talking about in the Jujutsu Kaisen segment,
Mm-hmm.
and hey man, give me more world building, more energy system stuff. Like I'm all here for it. Yeah.
When you reveal it here as comedy, right? It serves both functions here too, because obviously we understand as the reader that either Margaret or this Caldo guy, like we know they're strong, right? And it's probably Margaret. Don't want to focus too much on that Caldo guy on the cover or whatever, but like it's probably Margaret, and it serves both purposes, comedic and informative. But later, we're going to get some character that shows up, and it's going to be really badass. And this is going to happen again, and it's going to make it double badass. You know what I mean?
Pink Mike, Mitch. Just all of his muscles start pinging all over his body when like... Yo, that'd be pretty fucking crazy, man. I love how... I love this conversation with Caldo and Wahlberg. Excuse me. Where he's like, yo, I've been watching everybody. It's my job to watch everybody.
Right.
And I didn't see anything that made Mash really like say, that he deserves Divine Visionary. And I'm like, okay, so wait, did they just like sweep Abel? Like, did he not know about Abel at all? Like, was that hidden? That was like swept under the rug or something, wasn't it?
I mean, I think, let me think. People know about it. At least Margaret does. Yeah, Margaret does. Maybe not this guy. I think this guy's just been watching this battle.
Like fly on the wall type shit. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like he's here just been because this is the Divine Visionary tournament.
Yes. Okay. I for some reason I took this as he's been a fly on the wall like the whole time, just watching people. But no, it makes a lot more sense that now that this tournament thing is happening, he's been watching since this started, and is saying Mash hasn't really done anything all that.
What the hell was last chapter?
The
dude beat a Master Cane with his fists.
Yeah, like
is that not impressive enough for you guys?
Either way, this dude is full of shit, dude.
Yeah, this dude. Yeah.
But I think it's tight how like he's clearly a sword wielder. His X lines clearly are slashes.
Yeah.
Slink. You know what I'm saying? So,
but he's the flame. But he's the flame. Visionary,
but he is the flame. But he is the. They
flame
did say that he is like the flame cane or flame visionary. But I mean, like he's still. True, but I'm sticking with it for now. I don't know how it makes sense yet, but I'm sticking with it.
Right.
Maybe he. No, I'm not going to get into that. I was going to say maybe he has sword magic, but with a fire affinity instead of.
Sure. I mean, he's holding a sword, and the sword glows red in the cover.
Yeah.
But I think let's swing back to this after we figure out his ability. After he uses his ability, because I think that will definitely help us with the line theorization we've been doing for a long time here.
For sure. Absolutely. And then, hold on, there was something else I wanted to say. Oh yeah. So when we go into this situation, where was it? I think it was before. Nope. Boom. Where I'm trying to find the exact page. Where Mash, here we go. Why do I train so hard, you ask?
Oh my god.
So on page like 11 it starts, and it goes into this hilarious scene that does so much, but it's once again multi-purpose comedy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's obviously very funny that this is happening. This is doing a lot for the relationship of everybody involved and then palling out. This is very good Doubt and Mash bromance going on right now, you know what I mean, with obvious Finn comedy in the background, and then you have Lemon playing into it. So funny once they're like, not her too. I've literally just dropped my phone and just looked up and just laughed for like 5 minutes. That's so funny. But it's also working as obvious like character development for these characters. You know what I mean? Like this is real information we can assume.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's not weird that it's injected so harshly because it's comedy. You know what I mean? This is very like, I know that it's saying waiting room and some time has passed or whatever, but like the way that this information is being delivered is not the way that character development is written usually. So it's jarring in that way, but then it's comedy. Like, it makes sense for the characters still. You know what I mean?
It's almost breaking the fourth wall, right?
Yeah.
Because like they even comment like they're not talking to anyone in particular. They're just talking into the room, right? But they're kind of talking to us. And you could almost get, for example, Lemon's comments, right? Like, I never wanted to be an emotional burden, right? But over time, he became my whole world, my happiness and sorrow. You could almost put those in narration boxes and just turned it to third person. Lemon never wanted to be an emotional burden. Over time, Mash became her whole world, her happiness and her sorrow, right? You could do that exact same thing. It would do the exact same conveyance of information, but here we get it in this comedic, like almost fourth wall breaking, like comedy joke. Just so perfect. Love it.
You said that so well. That was so cool. Dude, what a scene. I love that, man. Like, it does so much in like 2 pages, 3 pages. And I love Mash's philosophy here too. Even like, it's funny, but it's well written. You know, like, it's kind of, you know, deep a little bit. You know what I mean? Like,
why do we have arms? To fucking use them. Get out there, baby. Why do we have legs? To deadlift. Obviously, there's no other reason. No,
Oh,
I like it too. It's funny, but it's kind of inspiring at the same time.
I hear the I hear poofs, you know, violin sound, you know, from Hunter.
You know, there's a lot of Hunter vibes. I feel like almost the interview itself, I mean, it's not, I don't think it's a direct reference, but I get memories of like Xeno, right? Like saying like, oh, you want to know about Netero? Like, oh damn, well I can tell you a little bit about Netero. I kind of similar vibes.
That scene is so like weird inside of Hunter too, because it's like we've never gotten a scene like that beforehand, but like that's just so cool. Xeno in a fucking interview, like you know, sitting in front of a camera, like talking and shit like that. I definitely feel a vibe. But yeah, probably not a direct reference, but
yeah.
But it is cool that we're seeing so much Hunter suddenly in Mashle.
Yeah,
I'm here. You know what I'm saying?
I'm here for it.
Put it anywhere. You know what I mean? Like, I'd love to see it. Put it in Black Clover. That's where I need to see it the most.
Yes.
Oh man, but so bro pulls up. No one detected him.
Yeah, very, very impressive there by itself. Yeah.
Yeah. And Mash has Mike. No Mike.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So is he suppressing his own energy, right? Like Mike won't pick it up kind of thing?
Yeah, he's either just not worthy to ping Mike, or he specifically is trying to be sneaky right here, because we get this reaction panel of when did he, you know what I mean? So like clearly you know, that kind of says to me he tried to slip in here unnoticed, you know what I mean?
Right,
Some kind of capacity, whether that's just suppression of magic or they're just dumb and didn't see him walk in obviously or something.
Oh man. Something I liked when in Mash's response, right? So the guy's like, hey, like, you want to play a game? Like, yeah, you got some time, huh? Like, let's play a game. And Mash like is like, no, I'm on break. And Dot thinks like, oh damn, like he just sassed that visionary, right? I feel like it's a direct parallel with Margaret and the other like third tier character who's like, oh damn, like Margaret is, you know, standing up to this visionary and not breaking a sweat. Or earlier in the chapter, right, where Order Madel is like, you gonna fucking do this, right? Like, do the job right. And the guy's like, you know, good, you know, like I'll just get out of my way, right?
Yeah. And
I feel like there's a parallel being drawn. Like they're both badass in that way.
Yes, because that kid who tried to give him the laxatives is the one that said that in the background. He was like, oh shit. Yes.
On page 10. Yeah.
Oh wait, is it on? Yeah, let me go back here real quick. On page 10. Yeah, Margaret Macaron's a badass. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Dude, this is totally setting them up like equally alongside each other in similar ways before the fight.
Exactly.
Oh, good spot. Wow.
But of course, with Mash, we get like doubling and tripling down on the comedy, right? It's like he's like, you know, I am like the judge, kind of, and you can't be a divine visionary unless I say you can, or you know, probably. And he's like, sure, let's play.
Yeah, he's like, oh, so I can't do the thing I need to do if I don't do this. All right, I'll play. He says it twice. I'll play.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. that was very weird to me. Two double I'll play back to back like that. I don't know.
Maybe it's just like there was like a silence, like so surprising in a sense that he would just agree, I'll play.
Like, oh sure, yeah,
yeah. And then like silence, and then just like reiterating like, oh, I'll play. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I agree. It is a little unclear like why he just said it twice or whatever.
Yeah. He says, if you beat me, I'll grant you a pass on this test.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Super cap.
Yeah.
He's gonna, I don't even know. I feel like he's gonna cheat in some kind of way.
Honestly, I feel like he's gonna win. I mean, or I guess.
It looks like he lost on the cover.
No, well, Mash lost on the cover.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, that's why I say I think the Visionary is going to win.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Now, cheating might be a strong word when we're in a world of magic, right? Mm-hmm. Like this dude might do something sneaky or clever or strategic to get Mash to lose, because obviously Mash, based on this last page, is very familiar with this game and very confident in his reflexes, which he should be. But because on page 20, this Visionary says like, if you beat me, I'll grant you a pass, which I don't feel like he actually can, and I don't feel like he actually will. That tells me that Mash won't actually win. So for some technicality, this dude, this Visionary, is going to win, so he can say, well, too bad. Well, you'll just have to beat Margaret then. You know what I mean?
And then he gets whatever information he needs out of that, and then gets to go back to Wahlberg and be like, this dude sucks. And then you get to build up satisfaction in when he is proven wrong, you know what I mean? When Mash eventually wins, things like that.
Right.
Okay. His finger warm-ups are amazing. What, all he's doing is this? Just like,
yeah, it's hard for me to see exactly what. Yeah, he's like just like turning his wrist or something.
Oh, that's finger warm-ups.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's more like wrist warm-ups or something, right? Yeah. But I'm remembering all this pages and panels and amazing drawings of fingers we've gotten in Mashle so far. You know what I mean? Like just these like super high angle like shots where the fingers are just so obnoxiously big or whatever. We're gonna get a lot of those when they play this game. I feel like,
man, it's gonna be like Toto's claps in Jujutsu Kaisen, but with like finger point direction montages.
Yes.
Oh no, that's hilarious, dude. Can't wait to see what this You Look You Lose game looks like. And I'm wondering how this dude is going to incorporate his magic into this game, because obviously he's not literally just going to use his finger the whole time. So, but he's a swordsman. So it's like, how do you...
So heat can cause a mirage effect.
Oh.
Maybe he'll refract the light and trick Mash's eyes into thinking it's going one way, but it's really going a different way, maybe. But really,
so cool. That's like off the top. That was fucking sick, dude. Oh my god, bro! Now I really want to see that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's see if the actual thing that happens includes that or is cooler. I hope it's cooler.
Yeah. Let us know, like in the comments, what you think this. That's a cool conversation. I feel like. Let us know what you guys think this You Look You Lose game is gonna look like.
How's it gonna go exactly? Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I think that's
fantastic chapter. That's all I had, though. Yeah.
I think I'm good too, man. All right, getting into Black Clover, chapter 287, Day of Atonement. This big. Look at this big spread.
Yo, this spread though.
Love the colors. I love. I love how Tabata looks like he's using so a combination of like colored pencil and watercolor somehow in his like colors, you know what I mean? Like that, the texture, you know, it like feels like it's like if I look in one spot, it feels like colored pencil. If I look in another spot, it feels like watercolor paint. You know what I mean? I like
crazy.
That.
Yeah. I was thinking mostly colored pencil, but like there are aspects of this that look watercolor. If it is not watercolor and only colored pencil, that's pretty impressive by itself. You know what I mean? This is high quality color job for sure.
Absolutely.
The grays on Asta's armor, like the grays fading in the black.
They got a lot of purple in them, or something. I don't know. There's some other kind of color in there. Maybe
they really pop.
Color, but the grays do pop.
Yeah. It's very, very well done. Very well done.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too crazy about Asta's like design itself, but
it's fine.
Yeah, but I mean, like this spread, looks amazing. I love the stark blackness in the sword after a while. You get that like initial like gray shading in the corners, and then it's just black. I like that, especially like because it goes into the wings too a little bit.
Right.
Great spread, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Getting into the chapter, Noct is hemmed up. So we're back in present time. And he makes a point to scale or at least give us the scale for his. I don't remember him actually saying that his devils were mid-level.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like that's cool for scaling and whatnot. Oh yeah, and then we get this other flashback here with Yami. This is a cool little like bridge. I feel like that I feel like I was after the last flashback ended, I was like, I wonder if we're gonna ever come back to this and see like just a little bit more.
Yeah.
Boom, right here.
Here it is.
Beautiful. That's cool.
So Yami here on page 4-5, right? Yami, so Noct is sad in front of Morgan's grave, and these are Noct's cigarettes, right? On the ground. And Yami takes the cigarettes of Noct's and starts smoking them. And this is like the first time he's probably smoking? Are we based on like the coughing?
Is this when Yami starts to smoke? Yeah, because he's coughing. I didn't even notice the cough. I didn't even read that.
Yeah.
So he starts smoking here, and Noct quits smoking here probably because he doesn't smoke anymore.
Yes, he probably quits smoking. Yeah. So like, there's something here. I
feel like that's a cool metaphor or symbolism or something that I'm just like not like picking up on or something, but like.
Yes,
that's cool.
That's how I feel too. Like I feel like I'm not picking up on something fundamental here, but I feel like this is some sort of metaphorical way of saying that like Noct approached this situation and said like, damn, like I feel really bad. I'm going to try and emulate my brother as much as I can. He does say like, for example, right, I can't forgive myself for this. I can't let myself be praised and be in the spotlight. I can't and must not be like Morgan. I'll destroy evil from within the with evil from in the shadows, right? But like, still, he definitely dyed his hair black, or maybe let his hair not be dyed. He definitely doesn't smoke anymore. He definitely is
wears it in a ponytail like Morgan,
like Morgan, and he is very uptight about what is right and wrong, right?
Yes.
So even though he says like I can't and must not be like Morgan, I think he means being outwardly in society portraying himself as a good guy. He's not a good guy. He thinks of himself as a bad guy, but he doesn't want to smoke anymore.
He can use Morgan's ideals his way.
Yes.
You know what I mean? He can.
And at the same time, right. At the same time, as Noct is going in a direction from evil to good, it's almost as Yami is like, well, I'm gonna go darker, right? Like I'm upset or sad or mad or something, so I'm gonna pick up smoking. I'm gonna make the black bulls, and I want you to be my vice captain. You know what I mean? Like there's something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I mean, like Morgan and Yami were tight. You know what I mean? So Morgan dies. Yami obviously looks very broken up about it. He looks sad as shit. You know what I mean? So he's like, I'm just going to pick up smoking because, you know, my fucking best friend just died. And like this profession is probably going to be filled with shit like this.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yes.
I'm probably going to have to start smoking here. And then Noct is like, I've been smoking forever because I'm just that rebellious kid that smokes or whatever. You know what I mean? And then now my brother dies because I was this person. You know, this kind of person killed my brother, so leave everything that, you know, signifies that previous person behind. You know what I mean? Including the smoking, including the aesthetic. You know what I mean? This is tight. Either way, the flashbacks I think
we're really honing in on this. I think we mostly got it. Yeah,
for sure. But these flashbacks, man, like these are like This is Tabata's biggest bag, bro.
Yeah, for sure, sure.
Yeah. And designs too, because oh my god, going into like these next couple of pages, help me with my gamble, Plumede and Wagner. I don't know why I didn't think of like a combination. Actually, you want to know what? I think we did say on this show that maybe he can combine all of them into like a Voltron kind of like situation.
We definitely talked about all of them combined, but not individually.
Like little different combinations and shit. Now that we see Gallus and Felis together, I'm like mad if Noct dies because I want to see every other fucking combination that
I
he's
wanted to
got.
see old McDonald had a farm. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see the farm.
I want to see the farm, bro. God damn.
Yeah, but probably, like, I guess Plumede and Wagner are dead now. On page 13, like, the masks are broken.
Yeah,
they're in a
broken
pool
on the
of like
ground.
shadow or something. I don't know, but yeah, going back to 6 though, going back to this devil fusion or whatever you want to call it, right? Devil union between these two.
Yeah.
I love the how the devils reply, right? Where like Noct is like, "Yo, help me out here, guys," and they're like, "Of course, dude. Like,
Yeah.
you brought us out of the underworld. Like, you showed us so many things. Like." And this other one, you know, saying like, I believe in you, Noct. Like, oh man, that does feel pretty cool. I think this is pretty cool.
I love it here. Now that we're seeing this interaction between Plumede and Wagner and Noct, I really hope he lives, because I think that this is an area of this concept that should be explored more, is the relationship between you know, you and your devil outs. I mean, I know that we're gonna get Asta and leave, I guess, till the end of the series, but I mean, like, you gave us this concept through Noct, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, you're gonna give his devils like 3 lines of dialogue before you fucking kill him, and it's like,
right.
Like, nah, bro, chill out. Wait. But you're doing so good with this flashback stuff. Give us a chapter where we get the devil relationship with fucking Noct. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
Like shit. Like, I really want this flashback to just continue, whether Noct like lives or dies. You know what I mean? Because it seems to be segmented. You know what I mean? So we could go into next chapter. The next chapter could start with a continuation of the flashback. Show Noct first contracting with Plumede, Wagner, everybody, and just showing him as a newly reborn Noct. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would, I really want Tabata to do that.
I really want that too.
I think that's such wasted. I don't want to say potential, but that's just a waste if you don't do that. You know what I mean? In my opinion.
I do agree. I really hope it happens for sure. Because I think he could do it well. I think you could execute that really well.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially because you're already breaking this flashback up. So it's already like not going to be jarring if we go back to action for so long and then go back to a Noct flashback again. It's like there's already kind of a trend here. You know what I mean? Flashback, back to the present, fight a little bit, flashback, back to the present. So I really hope that continues there. But I love how after he goes into the Union, we then get the line of dialogue that's like, for just a moment, I can boost the power of a single spell to the class of a supreme devil. So then he does this, but then it has literally no effect. So is he just wrong about how strong this was going to be, or are these devils not properly ranked?
I think how I'm interpreting what happens here is that, like, it is the class of a supreme devil, so like it did affect them, but their magic is somehow kind of a hard counter, or just maybe that strong. Because if we skip ahead a little bit, right? After they break out, Noct comments like damn, like they broke my spell. Like, and even the concept of breaking a spell, right? It doesn't what does that mean, right? He says, like, how can you break something which doesn't physically exist? You know?
Just like physical magic, Unless you have a specific kind of spell that interacts with special spells like this, how are you breaking out with just fire blast and ice blast?
And so then it goes further, and it's like, okay, their magic, it burns away everything, it freezes everything, even shadow and light, and even invisible concepts. So it's like Noct, at least Noct seems content with the idea that, yeah, I mean, like, I guess their magic is just that specifically useful that it can even burn a concept, like a forever game of tag, or, you know, a land with no shadow or light or death or whatever. Like that idea, they can burn and freeze that. And so then that's why they got out, even though it's still a supreme level.
We've already seen, like, I don't know, Jack does this. Jack has magic like this, and it's like Noct studies these things all day, every day. Like, what is the supreme devil classification, and how do you rank things there? Like, do you know anything about their capabilities? Like, how did this ranking come about if we already have Jack, who's able to do things like this already, and Noct was there when Jack did it? then like it's very weird that he's surprised that magic can do this. You know what I mean? In my opinion, in my opinion, he seems a little bit too surprised considering how much he studies devils, considering he knows that magic can cut concepts and can interact with invisible concepts. Like that's already information that we have. So this scene felt weird to me for that.
Right.
Because it's like their magic is not a hard counter to what he's doing. It's literally just fire and ice that can burn and freeze through anything.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think that it's weird that Noct doesn't have as much information as I feel like he probably should about the Supreme Devil capabilities. You know what I mean?
He definitely said impossible, right?
Yeah.
Like, to his knowledge, this can't happen.
Yeah.
And then very quickly makes a theory as to how it could happen. So maybe the impossible was kind of like hyperbolic, like, damn it. Like,
or maybe he was just fucking pissed that it didn't work. Yeah. Could be something.
But in terms of how this ability looks, looks wild.
Crazy. Bro, oh my god, this is one of the coolest things I've seen Tabata do. Everything Noct related has been the coolest drawings
the best.
that I've ever seen in Black Clover.
Right. And it is his brother's grave.
Wait.
If you go back,
no,
it's the same shaped grave.
Oh my god! That just shattered me, fam. No. God, that's so good. Tabata.
It's his monument of atonement, right? Like it's his way to make up for the worst thing he thinks he's ever did. You know what I mean?
Oh no, the poetry, Tabata, yes. Oh my god, that is so good to get right after I criticized him.
But you can shine in a thematic area, and then maybe a little weak on the magic's rules area, right? Like we've often criticized his magic system.
Sure.
And I will definitely agree with you. I can't think of a good explanation for Noct's confusion beyond just language or whatever, like being hyperbolic or whatever. But yeah,
for sure. But oh my god, Nick, this is wild. What a cool thing to point out. I just got a feeling from Black Clover that I haven't gotten from Black Clover, I don't think.
I feel the same way, dude. I feel the same way. Yep.
That is so amazing. I wonder, I'm not really in Black Clover Twitter like that, but no one really said anything.
Sure.
I wonder if anyone else knows this.
No,
they have to. They have to.
Black Clover fans are finding crazy deep shit that we're just barely scratching the surface.
I'm sorry, Black Clover fans. I bet they all just busted out laughing at me. Right
Yeah.
And deservedly so. But I think I said that right. Anyway.
Yeah.
Wow, man. Yeah. So these devils, these supreme devils, they fucking break through. They start torturing Noct.
Cool.
This is the first time that I have actually felt anything for these devils emotionally, just in the way that they're torturing him. And it's more so just Tabata's choice to show Noct in such a shitty state, more so than it is me actually caring about these devils. But this is the first time where I'm actually like, God damn, this situation sucks. You know what I mean?
Yes.
These fucking devils are really fucking doing something here, beyond just being shouting magic bots. You know what I mean?
Yep. I agree. I was thinking the exact same thing in this chapter that okay, sure, they don't have a great motivation. You know what I mean? I don't really think they're maybe right. Maybe we should just be suffering.
Detestable role brilliantly.
Yeah, brilliantly evil. You know what I mean? Very, very. Okay, now I'm a little oh damn. Okay, now this is a monumental threat that does need to be stopped. So okay, that's fair. What I wanted to point out was page 12, when they break out of this shit, and previously, say their face armor. Previously, their face armor was black. And was kind of more bony or just maybe pure solidified magic. And now the flame one is fire and the ice one is ice.
Yes.
And their clothing, they're not clothing, whatever, the black stuff covering their bodies now is their element or whatever.
Yeah.
They've really started using their abilities for the first time. You know what I mean?
And that is, I mean, like Notch says, like these motherfuckers were playing with me, and they definitely still could. But these look like pretty serious forms, and if he's bringing that out of these Supreme Devils, then that's a pretty big deal. But that is cool. I definitely didn't notice that much detail on page 12. It's really cool. Yeah, and they're about to go finish them, and then Asta, of course, comes in the way that we all knew he would. Brilliant, awesome, beautiful double spread. Oh my god.
16, 17, my god. Like the perspective, like over the shoulder of this devil.
Yes.
And like, ooh, the boy is here, baby. Like shit.
Yeah, the perspective is really everything, dude. Because and I love how the lack of background only after Asta. Only after Asta's like render is there no background. But then under Asta, you get everything else there. That's great.
Yep.
But yeah, the perspective on this devil, I don't think I've ever seen a perspective like this in Black Clover, especially in a double spread. This looks so fucking good.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then Nox face, Asta's, you know, looks very determined, very confident.
Right.
Still not crazy about this design. I'll say it again, but yeah, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro, wow, great double spread, love that. Lops the arm off. I really need this devil to just instantly recuperate from this and have this not be like serious damage, because even though I know that it's anti-magic and it's Asta, something just doesn't feel right about Noct literally dying to get this far, and then Asta just coming in and easily handling these devils with a brand new devil union. You know what I'm saying? Like Noct is like the devil guy with like 7 unions, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
Then, like it just, and I'm sure it makes sense in some kind of way that, you know,
it's as if like
the narrative or whatever. But like me personally, I really don't. I want Asta to struggle here a lot.
Sure. Oh, sure. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I hope
it's not a lot, just cut, but a decent amount. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's literally like cuts to shreds every single demon
if he just evaporates these supreme devils, I don't know how I'll feel. I'm saying I'll be mad right now, but we'll see how Tabata does with it.
Right.
But I mean, they don't look too shook. You know what I mean? What's this? It's severed. You know, they don't look too.
Yeah.
They look like they'll be fine. So at the very least, I think this arm grows back. They start fighting semi-serious Asta. Ting 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 ting. You know what I mean? Like low diffs their first assault, then they finally go into serious mode. Asta kind of has to break a sweat a little bit. Either way, as long as it's not just low diff, then I think it'll feel pretty good, because there are more fights that need to happen at the end of the day with Asta included. So, but yeah, I don't know. I just think that it would do a lot for the tension,
right?
You know, and if Asta had a little bit of a struggle here, but
I totally agree. I will say that I do like the last page. I mean, I like that this isn't the typical cookie cutter Black Clover cliffhanger, right? Like it's not like he didn't cut through both of them and you're like, oh damn, did he just kill both of them? Right? Obviously not, but
it's just the arm. It's just the arm this time.
So we got the nice cliffhanger, like in terms of not cliffhanger, but like the nice, you know, capped up at the end, you know, like ending the chapter, like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, here I am, about to kick your ass, right?
Yeah.
What I was like so afraid of, you know what I mean? Not really, because it was only like page like 10, 11, right? But like the whole Noct sealing the devils in this monument of atonement, you could totally imagine that being the chapter break. Like, I sealed you up. Yeah. And then chapter,
they literally just break out like first page, next chapter.
Right,
my god.
At least that didn't happen.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. What do you think these black ball energies are around Asta?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm assuming it's all around him is a field of anti-magic, but I guess I don't really know if that makes sense, considering like I think the devils are all magic, or maybe it's just that they have really strong magic. But like why is all this ice and stuff around if he's exuding this field of anti-magic? So I guess at the end of the day, I don't know. That's a great question.
Maybe things have to come in contact with these orbs, like similar to like Sage of Six Paths or whatever from like Naruto. You actually have to like touch these black things, and maybe it is just like, you know, little orbs of like super condensed anti-magic or something like that just like emanate from the armor or something like that, and just gives him, you know, a greater field of defense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or something like that. Because I could totally see any kind of magic running into these things just getting
Yes.
dissipated. You know
Yes.
what I mean? So,
that would be what I assume too, for sure.
yeah. So that'd be pretty cool to see.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah, man. But I think that's all I had for Black Clover this week.
Yeah, same.
Great. All right, getting into My Hero Academia, chapter 307. Been a while.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Been a while since we've seen these characters.
Jailbreaker showed up in the South Ward yesterday. I love how they use the name that the media has given him instead of his actual
Muscular
name.
or whatever.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Or,
that's just a great detail.
So I was also
Great
thinking,
tactic.
like, what if this is what he goes by now, right? So Muscular was put in prison and maybe really hated it, and now we have potentially some pathos for Muscular or Jailbreaker, what do you want to call him, that his thing now is destroying prisons, right? Like, think of Bane from the third new Batman movie, right? Like the Dark Knight Rises or whatever, right?
Yep,
and like his thing was like, the system has unjustly locked you up in prison. You know what I mean? Like, this is bullshit. Let's get you out of here. And it's like, at the time, it's like, yeah, I mean, kind of spitting here a little bit, right? Like, a lot of people in prison that shouldn't be in prison.
Yeah.
A lot of people in prison in this country. But like that'd be pretty cool. Like, he doesn't seem the type to like have such like big brain thoughts like that.
Right.
But even a meathead, a literal meathead like Muscular, can still have like very instinctual, emotional based feelings about being locked up in prison, and maybe now he's just like, you know what, my thing now is I jump around, I kill people, and I break jails. I mean, like that's what I do. That's my thing.
I'm Jailbreaker now. Or it could just be Kohei realizing that the name Muscular was trash and
yeah.
I've never liked the fucking name Muscular for that character. Like, it makes sense for his power set. But like, it just seemed so like not
lazy.
Like late. I was just like, really, bro? Anyway. But I love how we're still leaning into like the taking matters into your own hands kind of situation in society, like vigilantism or whatever is on the rise, you know what I mean? Justify or understandably. Right. You know what I mean? Considering the situation. But just the vibe of this chapter with things happening in random areas, because so many things are happening. It's just whatever heroes show up at whatever time. These are things that Kiko has been saying, like, how come we don't get just random villains attacking the city and just, you know, it doesn't always have to be such a huge spectacle, you know what I mean, whenever a villain is attacking. But which I totally agree with him on that point. Would be cool if we saw, you know, a couple more random mad scientists, you know, like type shit, you know what I mean? But at the same time, My Hero Academia's society is so well fleshed out, and we understand that the heroism situation is something that is governmentally, legally sanctioned, and there is a process for it. So whenever there is a villain, you know what I mean? It's always like all the calls are being made to get the right people there, and then those right people go there and deal with that, and then everyone sees, and then it's done, and then it's like, you know, it's routine, you know what I mean? Right. It's a step by step like kind of thing. But this is like chaotic, and it there's that structure is gone, so it feels a lot more like One Punch Man. You know what I mean? This chapter felt a lot like, you know, Sea King Invasion. You know what I mean? Where you had like Lightning
Vaccine Man.
Yeah, you had Lightning Max and fucking I don't know, the Spear dude tried to run up on him first, got crushed. Other heroes pulled up, you know what I mean? Like, oh shit, what's going on over here? You know what I mean? It feels very much, you know, Sea King One Punch Man arc right now, especially because you have Shindo pulling up to the fucking front lines like a G.
Yes.
But he got fucking crushed so quick, you know what I mean? But like, I just love how inside of the heroes that are still around. I thought I was about to have to jump off my balcony and go hit up this vigilantism myself. You know what I'm saying? This is My Hero.
For the record, that was the recording.
Yeah.
No need to worry, my friends.
Yeah. Anyone who's driving in their car right now listening to this, those are my police sirens, not yours. Okay, but yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So I think it's great how it's showing the heroes that do still give a damn.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And how they deal with the new outlook of society. You know what I mean? And because of going back into how well Kohei fleshed out this world, the fact that heroes are still here after this last big event, when there was a major plot point revolving around heroes realizing that this is now getting a little bit too real for what they signed up for and quitting, the ones that stayed behind in literally any moments like these are going to hit that much harder because they're the ones that are left. Even if the scenes aren't that big, like thematically or emotionally, just the fact that they're interacting with society the way that they are given the current circumstances, it just makes anything they do like more powerful to me.
Right.
You know?
And certainly this statement from Yo on page 14, you know, if there's anything heroes ought to have at this point, it's a rock hard spirit that refuses to bend or break. My God. My God.
Kohei was saving like all of his best dialogue for like this like area of his story. I swear to God, we're gonna see, and that's probably not true. We've seen all types of drastic dialogue and poetry and all kinds of shit from Kohei. But like now is really a time where crazy poetic dialogue like that hits so hard because it's in the face of the public now. You know what I mean? You're not just giving, you know, an expected hero monologue to a villain, you know, or vice versa. Like these are conversations that you're having with the people. You know what I mean? Like that's,
and it's not showing up, beating up a super weak, you know, thug villain and being like, here I am protecting the city, you know what I mean? Yes, I'm so great, even though it was like a super easy battle and you never would have lost in any, you know, circumstance, you know what I mean?
Right.
That's one thing, but to say it in the midst of a dude who is looking like a monster. And he just obliterated like 10 buildings on his way here, and you know he's gonna fuck you up. And you still say it.
In the face of adversity that drastic, like that's a hero, baby. Yo Shindo, my goat. What? Out of nowhere, one chapter. Kohei in his bag once again. Muscular lost an eye?
I think that was before.
I don't remember when he lost an eye.
I am not 100% sure about this, but I think that was Deku. I think that was Deku way back.
Deku maimed this man?
I'm pretty sure.
Yo.
So I did go back to the chapter where he was broken out of jail, right?
Sure.
Trying to get like a little more detail, like maybe they mentioned something about his name back then. I didn't find anything, but at that time he at least had the scar, and I'm pretty sure his eye was not necessarily drawn black, but drawn without a pupil or whatever.
Oh, sure. But now we're seeing it live and direct, and it's like this feels really good because in the Deku fight, when he went 1,000,000%, I understand that was a that was a conviction thing. It wasn't like a literal representation of how much power he was putting out. You know what I mean? But still, he crushed him and obliterated that mountain. And I understand that Muscular has very high defense. You know what I mean? But Deku was already getting through it, I think, before he even landed that 1,000,000% blow. Maybe I'm misremembering. But I just remember thinking, like, did this motherfucker kill this dude? And if he didn't kill this dude, how? You know what I mean? So him coming out of that and us seeing him for the first time again, and he's lost an eye and has this drastic scar on his face, it's crazy. You know what I mean? That we got a Deku that is being shown to deal this much damage to somebody, if that's the case. You know what I mean? But it makes a lot of sense. He fucking rocked his shit.
Oh yeah,
like cataclysmically into that fucking mountain, bro. So
yes,
better have lost something, son. You know what I'm saying? Lost maybe not an eye, lose something. You know what I'm saying? Sense of smell. Something, man. Need permanent damage on this body. Yeah. But wow, man.
How Jailbreaker's ability is drawn on the top of 15 is absolutely terrifying.
Yes, that looks. Imagine like you're looking up at that.
Just
he
this mass
you into the ground, and you are looking up at this fucking Silent Hill.
Yes.
Like, you know,
it's horror.
Whatever.
It's horror. It's body horror.
Yes.
It's terrifying, and this writhing. Like, these are muscles. Muscles move. You know what I mean? Like, this thing is like writhing and like it's
such
huge.
A gross ability in general. Like, I remember like when Deku went to go swing on him, in his last fight, and then Muscular like looped a piece of tendon like around his hand so he couldn't let his get his arm free or whatever. And I was just like, ugh, bro, I was like, what the fuck is going on right now? Like, it's gross. But yeah, man, wow, terrifying, absolutely. And like this is like just the kind of enemy you put in front of Shindo before you give him dialogue like he has in this, because it just bleeding back into what you were saying a little bit earlier, in the face of such a monstrous opponent, you're getting dialogue like this. And it's like, if this was just a regular looking character that was just wildly strong, beating the shit out of Shindo like this, might hit a little bit different, but like you're looking at an actual grotesque monster of a person, you know what I mean? Like that's just wild, bro.
For sure.
I love how he turns up, you know what I'm saying? He's like, oh, bet, grabs his arm and goes max tremor, you know what I mean? And just like has this like amazing dialogue in here, like max force leaves me immobilized for a while, but love how you throw the caveat in there too. Sometimes you just have to do what you have to do. If there's anything heroes ought to have at this point, it's a rock hard spirit that refuses to bend or break. Your brain will be a milkshake when I'm done.
Yo!
Tremoring Earth! Yo.
So sick.
And then the page turned into in that case, I'll just bulk up my armor. Fuck! It's so easy for him to just deal with this. And it's like, no! Oh, man. Time for a bloody frenzy. Doosh into the smash. Yes, sir. Oh my god.
Deku looking extra Toshinori here, you know what I mean? His eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely very angry All Might face he's got on right now. No wonder my gift from the fourth wouldn't shut up. It's muscular. Why would you say that? Why would you say that out loud?
Well, I feel like now he's not trying to hide it anymore. You know what I mean? Like he is, he told all of class 1A.
Yeah, you're right.
And I think he's at the point now where he is just saying, like, I'm the number one hero. All Might passed it on to me, and I'm here now. You know what I mean? Like now he's decided to actually like be public about how he's going to be the best.
Yeah.
And so this, in that sense, I think this would make sense. Very good point generally, you know what I mean? Like, unless he's doing that, like why are you saying this, buddy?
And no way Kohei made this fucking mask look so badass. Like, we got clowned so much. And like, obviously, like, as a comic book reader, I was saying like instantly, like, bro, this is probably playing into the idea or the concept in comic books where superheroes always have a shitty first costume. You know what I mean? Like, it's supposed to look dumb. But like, this is the exact same face mask, but like you just drew it badass this time. And like I didn't even think that like this thing could look badass, but it's fucking art and pens, and you can make this shit look, just give it a different face, but like it's still the same. But like I just didn't think, I thought it would either be no mask or just like a new mask later. I don't know why I didn't think that Kohei would just draw this looking cool one day. You know what I mean? Because god damn does this look fucking cool, bro. And I know a lot of it has to do with like the tatters instead of just being like tried and true bunny ears or whatever. But like no, in the face too, like in the way the eye holes are drawn and the contour of the Kohei.
It's so much cooler than it has been portrayed before that I was kind of thinking to myself, like, wait, like, is this a new costume? But no, I think you're right. Like, it's not a new costume. It's just tattered and drawn, from a certain angle, and it looks really badass now. Yeah. What do you think earlier about this conversation with these civilians?
Yeah, this is big.
Like, very interesting that like they're trying to convince him. And
we have a plan. We have a plan for you guys. Here's what we want to do. And then the skepticism makes a lot of sense.
Justified.
It's not
justified.
Just random skepticism because fuck heroes. It's we have counter logic, not just complaints and not just, swatting down your idea. No, like we've actually thought it. We're thinking too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're not just dumb, angry mob civilians.
Yeah.
We're civilians that are fed up, never had a voice, and now the comic is choosing to focus on us, and we have things to say too that make a lot of sense. You know what I mean?
I love on page 5, right, where at the end of the day, what Yo is getting at, he gets to here, and he says like, hey, like, fine, like, You have a lot of good points, but we are simply more proficient at combat than you fine people. Please allow us to protect you.
Yeah.
And the dude says like the perfect thing in response, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, well look what's come of trusting smooth lines like that.
Yeah.
We did trust you. All of society trusted you heroes to keep us safe, and you fucking blew it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so should we just like sit back and get killed forever just because you want us to keep trusting you?
Because you have this system in place.
Right. System's not doing me any good, but
Right.
this thing on my back, this support tech, that's doing me some good. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like
this is my problem solver. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I love it. And going into the line like, oh yeah, look what's come of trusting smooth lines like that. It's well done because look at the panel before of Shindo obviously saying a rehearsed line.
Yes.
You know what I mean? With this big hero smile and all of this bright, vibrant, particle effects behind him.
Yep.
You know, like, trust me, I'm trustworthy. I'm the hero guy. You know what I mean? And then it's just like, look at the face of the civilian, first of all, in response to that. Like, you trying to fleece me right now? You trying to do this like hero shit? I've been listening to my whole life. I just told you it's over with that. Stop with the fucking regurgitated hero lines. Yep. You guys fucking killed a bunch of people, essentially. You know what I mean?
Through your inability to do your fucking job. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Stop playing with me, bro. I just love the way that that's done.
Right. And Yo Shindo is actually like the perfect person, I think, to deliver this line too, because he's already been portrayed previously in the series as being like two-faced, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm gonna shake my hand. I'm a good guy, right? Even though in the back of his mind he's actually kind of a dick a little bit, which is like on page 6, for example, right? Like he just did this line of the sparkle and the thumbs up,
and
or
the
like
next
the
time
wink,
you see him, he's like,
fuck these people. I could have, took your whole building down if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. But I love how
even with that,
I love
he's still
how
a good guy.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's like such a cool character to have.
Yeah,
someone who has realistic negative thoughts given the situation that he's in, but still is a tried and true hero that will always act the right way, even though you see conflicting thoughts up here. It just adds a realism to such a secondary character that you don't think that. I don't know. Kohei's so good with characters. Like we don't even need to like characters. Is like, even though he's got a lot of them and a lot of them aren't used or whatever, which is a choice.
Right.
I don't think it's a neglect thing. I don't think it's a you took on more than you could chew thing. I definitely think it's obviously a narrative to say he knew what he was going to do with this class. He knew what he was going to do with these characters. I don't think that he's shown us anything in these 300 chapters that should lead us to think that he hasn't had a perfect plan for the characters, at least. In his story. So
it's just time. If he had a volume for every character, we'd get a sick volume for every character.
Right,
you know what I mean? Like, but
yeah.
there's no time. Yeah.
Right. But it's just still like so. It's just so cool that we're getting depth like this for Shindo.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it's like I completely forgot this character existed in this comic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's
I forgot Turtleneck existed. I did remember what I actually did not. It took me a little bit because when I first saw Yoshindo, I was like, "Oh, this is the mud guy, right?"
I didn't know what his quirk was. I didn't remember him at all. And then when he started using like tremors and vibrations, I was like, "What the fuck? This is Avalanche from X-Men," and I forgot. I should remember all of the actual X-Men characters. You'd think.
Sure. But yeah, once I like saw him more, I was like, "Oh no, okay, it's the Earthquake guy or whatever." And then like, but Turtleneck, I had to look up her ability or whatever. Yeah.
What does she do?
She can. Like a turtle, kind of suck her limbs into her body, I think.
Oh,
it's called telescoping.
Yeah.
I don't know if she ever used it, and I don't remember her using it. I had to look. That was just a wiki, you know what I mean, kind of thing. But like, I don't know.
Oh man. But yeah, bro.
Whew.
This was a chapter like for a setup chapter. It still did so much.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, and actually, I don't even know if I should call it a setup chapter because there's a lot of like thematic and narrative, like, importance of things that happen throughout the entire chapter leading up to this cliffhanger setup for this fight. So I don't even think I can call it a setup chapter. Just a beautiful chapter overall. And the way that Kohei knows the balance of events and how they should flow throughout a situation like this that is so chaotic. And to have like a great feeling linear progression of events through such a chaotic situation is very impressive.
Yeah. Love it. No, I really love the chapter.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, man. Did you have anything else you wanted to say about it? Oh man, what do you? Hold on, bro. So how do you think this fight's gonna go, man? You think he's just gonna crush like Luffy versus Bellamy type shit?
Yeah, that's kind of my first hunch. You know what I mean?
I think that would be so cold blooded, but at the same time, I want this to be a demonstration of Deku's new mastery of all of his quirks.
Oh,
so
sure,
I think it could still be a trouncing, but I don't want it to be a fucking one shot like Bellamy kind of situation, like, you know, just a quick St. Louis smash to the chin and it's over. No, like we need to see all of these quirks used, and not because he needs to, but because he's like muscular. I beat you when I had 5% full cowling. This is great. I could test everything now. You know, like I would love to see a Deku that like saw this opportunity as something and like kind of like smirked at like knowing that he was just gonna fucking murder this dude, but while testing, you know, everything that he can do. I feel like I want to see a Deku that is like kind of excited to whoop villain ass instead of like apprehensive
Goku,
but do it anyway. Yeah,
Goku or a Super Saiyan 2 Gohan or something. You know what I mean? Like a little too cocky.
Yeah.
I would like him to win. I don't want him to lose because of his cockiness, but I do agree. I would like him to be a little cocky and test things out. I think.
I don't know if we need like. Yeah, I don't know if we need lick the blood off the cheek Deku type shit. I don't know if we need him to go there. Yeah. But like, I definitely want to see him like. I don't know, man. I think a cool like layer of maturity, but while still staying Deku, would have him go back into his hyper analytical, you know, monologues, internal monologues of like heroism study from like way back in earlier arcs, where he's just like, okay, I fought this dude already once before. Let's see. I think I already know how his opening is going to be. It's going to be very similar as last time. I can use this quirk to deal with that. Boom. See how good the defense on Black Whip is or something. You know what I mean? I can just see him just having like this confidence where he's just toying with him in a very excited, but not like malicious, like maniacal way. You know what I mean? But he's just like stoked that this fight is so much easier now than it was before. And he's got a great opponent with high defense that he can really test these quirks out on. You know what I mean? So that's how I think, or how I want it to go.
I would love that. I'm ready for it.
Hell yeah, man. Well, yeah, I think I'm good on Hero, man.
Yeah, same.
Great combo, dude. All right. Getting into the One Piece Daily Existence. One Piece Wa, chapter 1008, leader of the Atamayama Thieves Brigade, Ashura Doji.
Yo.
Goddamn. What a chapter. But this cover.
Cute cover.
This is such a cute cover, dude. And I loved your reaction to it when you did your when you did your reaction. Dude, this horse looks so stoked.
Yes, dude.
I love Robin.
I'm a Pegasus now.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, man. But yeah, that is probably the last good vibe that we get.
Oh man, yeah.
In this review. No, there's some hype shit at the end. Never mind. Let me chill. But wow, man.
So how did none of us think, you know, like, oh, here's Odin, you know what I mean? And people have been talking ever since Kanjuro died, like, no, Kanjuro's not dead, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like,
but one of them.
Yeah, for sure. Personally, I was under the impression that he was dead, and that Orochi was dead, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I definitely would not have gone there, but like nobody was like, oh yeah, this is Kanjuro art clone. It's like, it makes so much sense now.
And I think I saw somebody after we recorded last week on the timeline say, I bet you it's Kanjuro related.
Oh,
and
sure.
And then I was like, oh shit. You know what I mean? But I think what I think is funny is that like you were like, it's Toki time travel in some kind of way, and then they fucking feint that. Like Oda feints that like in the beginning, you know what I mean? And I was like, when I'm reading this chapter, I was like, no way this is the explanation right now. I was like, Nick is kind of eating right now because he kind of guessed this, but like this explanation better be good, bro. And then and then it's like, no, Toki said these words, you can't go to the past. I completely forgot about that.
I also forgot that too.
But yeah, but once they said it, I was like, oh shit, you know what I mean? And then, you know, it's like, not so fast. He's got to be a fake. Yeah. And I was like so hyped, like until like right there, bro. Like I was like, I don't even give a fuck that this doesn't make sense. Odin's back, and the explanation is Toki. It's fine. We'll deal with it later.
We'll do it later. It's fine. We'll sort everything out later. It's fine. Yeah.
But it's like, dude, this is so devastating. So like, this is here for like everybody who has clowned this arc for the low stakes and for whatever the fuck they wanted to say. Like, this is like the stakes being carried through the scabbard narrative is just ways that Oda supplements the killing of like other like major characters, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like you get a death every like once in a while, but like really all of the tension right now, or the most tension I want to say that I felt inside of this war, has been related to the scabbards and their goal, and them just getting a great moment here and then 3 steps back. Great moment here, 3 steps back. You know what I mean? Like, regardless of whether or not they die, or the fact that we know everyone's going to win at the end of the arc with minimal casualties, like the fact that it's so dramatic in this area is like all that I personally need. And everything can go the way One Piece always goes. But like, I'm so thoroughly invested in the scabbards at this point. You know what I mean? That it's like, when they're going through it, I'm going through it at this point now. You know what I mean? And Oda could always do some crazy shit and throw some wild appearances towards the end of this that really makes it feel like a Marine Ford for the people who are complaining or something. But like, dude, if you don't appreciate this right now, I don't know what to fucking tell you, man. Like, I don't know what you've been reading this whole time. But like, this is peak to me inside of One Piece. Yeah.
Absolutely. And like, bringing back Orochi and Kanjuro, it makes total sense. It makes total sense. And again, like back then I was like, no, it's fine. Like Oda doesn't have time for this anymore. Like we gotta move this shit along.
And that made a little bit of sense back then. It did, because we had so much leaning into that. We had Oda saying he wants to be done in 5 years, the pace picking up drastically. Now characters seem to be dying left and right, not just you know, few and far between. Now it seems like a lot of motherfuckers are just dying. So with all that information there, that felt really good. But at the same time, it is One Piece. If there's a large scale conflict and big name characters are taken out at the beginning, you can bet your bottom fucking dollar those motherfuckers are coming back. When Jack fucking tipped over and got off screened by the Sulong, sure, you didn't see the Sulong fight, but like, if you really thought that was the end of that, I'm sorry, man, but like, come on, dude. And like Kanjuro and like Orochi, I know that like there was, and I think that you actually said like it feels good that Jack goes down here if Oda's trying to hurry it up. But like, people that were complaining about that Jack stuff were talking about like all kinds of shit, like, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, come on, man, Oda's not gonna do us like that. Not when it's revenge. Not when it's fucking, you know what I mean? Like, that was a big deal on Zou, dude. Oda's not gonna fucking do that.
Inuarashi even mentions it, right? Like when they're about to square up and Jack's like, hey, there's no moon down here, huh?
Yeah,
he's like, yeah, well, there's no poison gas down here either. So, you know, we're even, right? Like,
that was so good.
That
was so good. One thing that I want to point out, I saw people kind of getting into it on the timeline, and I think I kind of agree with the people in favor of the fan scans, because in the fan scan, Ashura Doji has such a more cold-blooded quote than what he says, bro. Yeah, so when he gets stabbed, when he gets fucking impaled by the Kanjuro clone, Kiku was like, dude, it's my fault, I should have killed him. And then Ashura was like, I don't blame you for going soft, he was our friend. In the scan, this motherfucker was like, even the sharpest blade goes dull when pointed at an ally.
Oh,
bro!
If that's really how that went down, ooh, bro, we got shortchanged in the official, because like, that's cold. That's cold.
So fucking cold. And I heard people saying like, yeah, but like that doesn't really fit, you know, Ashura Doji's dialogue up until this point. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
It's like, man, because he does have this, you know, kind of like country, you know, like ish, like dialogue, you know what I mean? Like he has that accent, you know what I mean? And he says hunga dunga type shit, you know what I mean? Like, you know, so like the poetry in that quote, some people say like doesn't really fit Ashura Doji, but it's like, look, man, he's about to die. He's a fucking samurai.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you could chalk it up to a bunch of shit, you know what I mean? But like, come on, I feel robbed.
If that's how it went for real, then like I feel robbed too, for sure. Because that's
such a
love that.
Quote,
that's so cool. That's so cool. Yeah. Damn.
Poetry, like that's poetry. Like don't replace poetry.
Yes.
I don't give a fuck. Like don't replace poetry. Yeah.
Totally agree. But this whole scene was poetry to me, right? Like all of the scabbards being so ready to believe Odin was back, right? Like the one thing that would cheer them up the most, you know what I mean? Like that Odin is here. Odin's gonna take care of it. Odin, yes, I want to follow you. Everyone's on board.
Yeah.
And man, Ashura Doji, damn, like he definitely leveled up for me as a character from his, you know what I mean? Like just being like super reasonable, like come on, guys. Like I get it, but come on.
Like when I go back and just think about this arc and what I remember of Ashura Doji from his introduction was so drastic, bro. He was literally introduced beating Jack's ass. You know what I mean? Like we got to Wano and I was like, I can't wait to see what these samurai can do, man. Let's go, man. You know what I mean? And then the first thing we see a samurai do is like really put a whooping on Jack the Drought.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And I was like, oh no, who is this random fat samurai? Why does he like is this just like base level Wano samurai? Yeah. Like I was like, and then you find out he's a scabbard and you're like, okay, that makes a lot more sense. But like at first I was like, bro, no, Oda is not doing this right now to us. And then, you know, like you start getting characterization for him and like development for him. And he's like the leader of a fucking bandit clan in a rural area of Wano, you know what I mean? Like that's such a cool backstory for such a character that you really did not think. Like, look at him, dude. He looks like fucking Andre the Giant. You know what I mean?
He does.
Like you do not. I did not think I was going. And that Oda always does this. The characters you are positive you are not going to give two shits about end up being the most impactful characters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just. Man, I can't wait until this arc is done so I can just reread it and binge it. You know what I mean?
Front to back,
If I'm feeling nostalgic for Ashura Doji, like off of one read, like week to week, like when I go back and read through this shit, this shit is gonna hit so drastically different. It's not even
1000%. 1000%.
Like getting the whole story all at once of all of these characters. A lot of people say the scabbards feel underwhelming or whatever, and it's like, in my opinion, I'm just gonna be blunt. I feel like no, you just want to see other characters do things. And they're focusing on the scabbards who you may have maybe initially decided weren't going to be as relevant as they ended up being to the narrative. And now that you've been in this state of waiting to get past the scabbard stuff to get back to Luffy and Kaido and Big Mom stuff, you've missed everything kind of that's built these characters up, and now you can't even appreciate something like this fully because you've been slandering them week to week because you're like, when is Big Mom gonna fight somebody? You know what I mean? Like it's like that's just how I feel about it.
For sure.
I mean, like this narrative is brilliant, dude. And Oda, I just want to say one more thing. Oda is so good at drawing painfully naive characters. Like, for example, like, look at Kinemon's face on the top of page 4. Like, he knows that he's tweaking. Like, he knows, like, what the situation is, but he wants to believe it still, and he's crying. His face says so much. The way that his mouth is, like, wrinkled up in his, like, smile. He's like, what do you mean, bro? It's all good, man. Like, it's right there, you know, but he's crying at the same time, but he's, like, laughing, like, don't be stupid. This is our guy. Like, it's just... master class visual storytelling. Look at Denjiro. Everyone's got an equally even fucking Inuarashi, who doesn't even have real facial expressions. You know what I mean? It's just like looks so devastated, man. Like,
Yep.
or
Yep.
I mean, he looks so hype, and then he look.
Yeah.
Like, all of the facial expressions are just great throughout this. As
Yeah.
they're when they think it's Odin, as they're realizing it's not Odin, when they get the confirmation that it's not Odin, you get reactions at all of those points from everybody, and it's like such a wide spectrum of emotion inside of these characters in like 7 pages.
Yes.
8 pages. Like,
and to piggyback off that,
Yeah.
tying it into what you were saying about, you know, just generally people not really liking the Scabbards that much, or not thinking that they're that great of characters or whatever. This is like beauty in motion for sure. This is like peak, like just very, very good.
Yeah.
And it makes so much sense because of how long these characters have been around. And you forget that, right? That like Kinemon, Momonosuke,
Punk Hazard.
Kanjuro, Punk Hazard, you know what I mean? Like, and then Dressrosa, okay, Kanjuro, Raizo, Anzo, like these characters have been around almost the entirety of the New World, and you forget that, and obviously they've been around to get us to this exact arc, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, man, I just don't know what to tell you if you don't appreciate the Scabbard story at this point. I honestly feel like
the thing to tell you is go reread the entire New World over again.
Exactly, because you're reading One Piece for like the wrong reasons. If you literally are reading One Piece just so that you can see high tier characters from the beginning of the series eventually fight each other, like there is so much more story and character writing happening around you, and if you just have blinders on waiting for Luffy to do raw swag Kino shit, then it's like you never liked One Piece.
Sure.
You know, that's what I want to fucking say to you, you know what I mean? But no one will ever actually come out and be like, yeah, it's me, I'm the guy that thinks that way, you know what I mean? So it's like, who am I really talking to? But anyway.
Yeah. For sure.
But yeah, oh my god, the Ashura Doji sacrifice.
Yo.
And it hurts so much because it's just a fucking clone of Kanjuro. But
yes. Oh yeah.
But so like that adds to it, but at the same time, Kanjuro said, doing this I think will kill me. So at least like there's like that feeling. But like just the like, I'm so mad that Ashura Doji sacrificed his entire life, obviously because he needed to, but for like not even the guy. He didn't even get the guy. You know what I mean? Like that is so painful.
And damn, the art on it, like say top left of 9, just the brightness of the explosion as it's like just lighting up, like that in the bottom of that panel, right? That katakana ka, that it's crazy. That's like tss, right, but like ka here is like light is emanating, right? So this is like it. Yeah, you could call it tss, and like the bomb is about to go off, right? But it's really like this is the explosion is now beginning, right? The light is emanating from the explosion, boom, you know, and then the top of 10. Oh man, the lighting in the top of 10 is just so perfect. The pure bright white of the explosion. And the shading on Kinemon and Raizo and like the wood and all the debris. It's like
Oda knows what to do
art
with light sources. And
it's so
and it's
good.
Something that you kind of like don't ever really notice because like the light sources aren't very apparent everywhere, but when they're used, Oda knows what the fuck he's doing there. But it is hard to notice light, I think, in One Piece a lot of the time because Oda, especially now in the New World, has such a line-based shading structure or shading technique, you know what I mean? That like I feel like you can't really determine light sources as easily because he not only uses that that line effect for shading, but he also uses it for scars, damage,
blood,
like you see that same effect like in so many places that it's kind of hard to tell exactly where the light is coming from a lot of the time. But when it's focused on like this, bro, beautiful, man.
Yes.
And it's like, and it's like a lot of people, it's like, man, this is the style he chose for One Piece. You know what I mean? Like this is very much his style. Like this is probably very natural for him to draw this way. But at the same time, it's like, he's an artist, not just for One Piece. He's an artist in general. You're going to see incredibly impressive illustration techniques from him when they're necessary, even though he chose a very Disney-esque aesthetic, you know, for his characters and his world, you know what I mean? So a lot of people clown on Oda for his art and shit, but it's like, you could see cold-blooded techniques throughout this. It's just concentrated, you know what I mean? Because it's trying to have a certain aesthetic. You know what I mean?
100%, 100%.
Yeah. But yeah, Orochi's back. What a bitch. God, I hate these teeth. These separated buck teeth that aren't even canines. Fuck you.
Yes.
God damn it, you ugly son of a bitch.
I also obviously hate Orochi. I think he's very dislikable, hateable.
Waluigi.
Yeah.
ass motherfucker.
What I love about his return is that he is against everyone.
Yep.
He's like, I'm gonna burn it all down.
Engine. Yeah.
Fuck Kaido, fuck the Straw Hats, fuck the Scabbards, fuck everybody. I hate all of you for backstabbing me like this, right?
Yeah.
Like that's so perfect, and like it also will maybe enable, I don't know. I'm super excited to see who the hell is gonna punch this dude in the face first. You know what I mean? Like, is it gonna be a Scabbard or is it gonna be one of even Kaido's guys? Right?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, shit. Zoro still don't like this motherfucker.
Oh,
so
yes.
There's that.
Ooh.
Denjiro could handle him, and it would be fine too. You know what I mean?
I mean, anyone could handle him, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess I'm thinking of. Pardon me. I guess I'm thinking of who I want to beat his ass the most, because you had multiple people that are kind of like closer to him than everyone else, because Zoro literally made a declaration on Orochi's head. Denjiro was his right hand guy for a while. You know what I mean? There's a lot of motherfuckers that it feels the best to eventually whoop him. But I guess the point that I want to make is that I really hope that now that he's back and he's going to be a literal chaos engine, you know, like in this arc, essentially based on what he's saying, I really hope that he doesn't end up being a gaggy tide shifter in the main final conflict or something. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I definitely don't want it to be this fucking bare knuckle drag out brawl between Kaido and Luffy or something. And then
he fucks it up somehow.
You know what I mean? Like I just wouldn't like that. But yes, I want him to play his role and fuck things up. Maybe you want to know what I'd love? If he was the reason Sparrow got his shit pushed in. Definitely be the tide shifter for Sparrow, because like fuck him, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
him too. Yeah.
He can go out like a bitch and I won't care, but like you can't fuck up Kaido and Luffy or any of the Yonko stuff happening, you know what I mean? Even though he's probably the most pissed at Kaido, so it would make a lot of sense that he would try to get there. I think Kaido will see him again, but I don't think Orochi will do anything that's significantly hinders anything that he's doing. But Kaido does need to see Orochi again, so he at least needs to make it there. Right. But I just don't want him to shift the tide for that situation in any capacity. Yeah.
Definitely he can interject.
Yeah.
And as tide shifting is the perfect word, right? Like as long as he doesn't impact the battle, he could interrupt the battle.
Yes.
And maybe Kaido's like, oh, I didn't successfully kill you. Well, let me just finish the job. Kaboom! You know, like, and then
what if everyone stops fighting and everyone turns on Orochi and just beats his ass?
Yes.
And we get team attacks with Luffy and Kaido. Oh my god, no. Need to stop. They wouldn't even need that. Just fucking evaporate this dude in one shot and get him out of here.
Just one hyper beam.
I'm just like that headcanon was ridiculous for some reason. I don't know why.
I'm for it though.
That idea spawned, but
because Kaido kind of respects Luffy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this last page, like jumping ahead a little bit, right? Yeah. Like, I mean, he also is kind of saying like, you know, that's it, Straw Hat. The light never leaves your eyes, does it? Could go a lot of routes here, right? Like he's excited for the light to leave his eyes, so he's actually not on his team. But I think he respects Luffy in a way, right? Like he's obviously very powerful, and like I respect that. And yeah.
I think it's because if he respects Luffy right here, it's either just for the light in his eyes or it's the fact that he's still standing and has brought him to this point. But that's everyone together has done that, has brought him into this hybrid form. So like maybe he is just like, maybe he respects everyone that's even in front of him right now. You know what I mean? He's just like really excited that these are his opponents in general. I think it makes a little bit more sense that he's talking specifically to Luffy. But like if it's not just because of the eye comment, then I don't know why he would credit Luffy for what everyone else and Luffy have brought out of him. You know what I mean?
I mean, it is a team battle, but I feel like Luffy is putting in the most work right now.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure look at him. He's like, all right, I'm going after him. Pew!
Yeah.
All right, I'm going after him again. Pew! And everyone's just like, I love how that humor is there, and that is very One Piece, but it doesn't take away from the tension of the situation at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But
For sure.
like, because this was very funny to me because it felt like pre-time skip One Piece.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For just a moment in these
Mhm.
pages of
Yes.
14 15 and 16. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Nice.
Mhm. Hell yeah, but look at this hybrid form, bro.
Ooh.
I really want to go back because I know that the face is obviously way different, but I really want to go back and look at him before he went into hybrid and his body. I think I can actually just Google it. Kaido manga. Because
Like his human form, you're saying?
yeah, like it's just like not like I'm trying to like find more differences besides just the face.
So
Are his
yeah,
legs
from
different?
my
I feel like his
memory,
legs are actually different too,
well,
actually.
he's got a
Because
tail. He does have a
he's got
tail.
the tail. And then he's got like the the raptor back legs now. You know what I mean? Like those
Yes. Yep.
I don't think he had those before.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah, okay.
The scales are
the
more.
scales. He's got scales on both sides now.
Both sides. Yep.
He only had it on one side before.
Where like, and even the one side, like you almost think it was a tattoo, right? And
Oh,
it could have
sure.
still been a tattoo, but maybe it wasn't a tattoo, and now it's just like more over his body, or the scales that are real scales now are covering up the tattoos.
Yeah.
He has more horns, right? Like.
Yep. He's got 2 more horns. Those 2
Or 4 more horns. How many?
Or
how many
4
horns
more
is-
horns. 4 more horns.
Yeah,
My bad. Yep,
yeah.
You're right. Because he has like the obvious
Yep.
bull ones.
The 2 normal ones,
the
yeah,
2
and
normal
then
ones, and then
he's got the Oni horns in front, and then like 2 other horns,
crescent horns,
small ones in the back or whatever kind of thing.
Yeah.
Is his mustache longer? Is the
Oh,
mustache
shit.
longer?
No, mustache isn't longer.
Same length.
Same
Okay.
length mustache. It seems.
Okay. Long mustache.
Yeah. He now has sharp nails instead of regular nails.
Sure.
He's got still got the same like bracers. I don't know why that would change.
Yeah.
but yeah, I think that's all the differences.
Yeah. So
but man,
yeah.
I love it though.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I didn't like it's a hybrid form, so it's like what do you, like is it really gonna be that grandiose, like elaborate? Right. You know what I mean? It's
right.
Yeah, we've seen.
I mean, the other ones we've seen, like Lucci, like
right.
He was just like a humanoid leopard kind of thing, right? Like very, very similar to this. Drake.
Yes.
Very similar.
Yeah. Fucking Dalton, all of them, dude.
Yeah.
But man, dude, so here we are. Big Mom looks ready.
Mm-hmm.
Got Zeus, Napoleon, and Prometheus looking like they're all max gauge, max limit break. You know what I'm saying? Like motherfuckers are about to really start throwing hands.
Yes.
And man, I have no idea how this is about to go. So Law, we should peel them apart. Like, does he mean like literally? Or is he saying like we should separate them? Okay.
Separate them.
Because I was like, that's a little bit too vicious for Law, bro. He don't be having like, like dialogue like that. Yeah, if it was like we should like I thought he was like talking shit like we should peel these motherfuckers limb from limb type shit. You know what I mean?
We should peel their skin off their bodies.
Yeah, well, I mean, shit. He's surgeon to death. You know what I mean? Like I guess it kind of, but I just feel like he just never talks like that.
Right, but yeah, he's definitely talking about separating them because Zoro agrees, and then Kid says like, "Yep, with the 2 of them standing side by side, it looks like we're in hell or whatever." I guess the thing I don't understand with Law's comment is like, what do you mean we should peel them apart? Do it then, guy. Yeah. Like you're the guy who switches things in space. Like
how come we haven't gotten any Kaido and Big Mom body switching? Yeah, or have we? No, he's just thrown things at them. Yo.
Or he put, I think the only thing he's done recently is put the scabbards down below.
Yep.
Well, why don't you put Big Mom down below or something, right? Like, surely you could.
Yeah, for sure. I think we are actually about to see Law turn up for real now.
Yes.
I think we're about to see all of them go crazy, but I think Law specifically had like no, he hit the gamma knife on Kaido.
Yep.
That was raw. Everybody's got their licks in.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But now that we have Kaido's hybrid form, okay, now there's no more, presumably, big reveals in terms of these abilities. So now we can get into the battle like, in earnest.
Yeah.
Super excited. So excited.
Damn. Zoro, man, he's got the bandana on. I forgot that he had the bandana on because it's been a while since I've seen him. And that is just so yes. But I feel like Zoro is going to deal some like one more crazy blow on Kaido and then get knocked back down to like deal with Orochi and King, and like I feel like people are going to start leaving this situation. You know what I mean? Until it's I don't know if, honestly though, unless other people like replace them, I don't know why they would leave though, because it's like the less people you have, the less chance you have of beating these motherfuckers. So it's like, right. I mean, obviously he probably wouldn't leave voluntarily if he did leave, but I'm trying to think of it like, man, is this really gonna be the final? These are all of the players involved in the final battle. Hard. I mean, I would love that. That would be crazy to just see a fucking full out 4v. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5? It's 5 of them.
Killer Kid, Law, Zoro, Luffy. Yeah. 5.
5v2. Like if this was the.
Now Yamato wants to get in this too.
Yeah, exactly.
He's trying to beat up his dad.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. So it's like, I can definitely see some of them getting switched out. You know what I mean?
And then like Sanji, what's Sanji gonna do?
Right.
Yeah, I have no way to predict what is going to happen, for sure.
As much as I like want this next chapter to start with the continuation of this conflict, I just want to see what I want Sanji to have more. Like I just want to see what Sanji's doing. I want more I want to go back to the Robin fight. You know what I mean? Like I can chill on this for a little bit if it means the Straw Hats are going to get like amazing moment. Like I will gladly wait 11 chapters to come back to this if Oda is going to give the Straw Hats amazing fights. You know what I mean? Like so I don't know. But do you think it's gonna start here next week? Oda be loving to switch perspectives after shit like this though, you know what I mean? Like
for sure. Definitely does. I could also see like starting off with this scene but not doing the whole chapter, maybe doing like 2, 3, 4 pages, have a couple attacks in, a witty remark, boom, then switch to a different scene, you know what I mean? Yeah.
I just love how everything that's happening in their little areas is like almost equally interesting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it could literally pick up anywhere and I wouldn't be mad about anything. Yep. Like if it stopped here and picked up with more Marco stuff, fuck yeah. If the next chapter stopped at Marco right when he was just about to do some super crazy shit and then it switched to Yamato and Momonosuke, I'd be like, fuck yeah. You know what I mean? Like there's no like I would not be upset if this went anywhere after any cliffhanger that we get throughout the entirety of the rest of this arc, because everyone
checking in with Otama and the Kibi shit, you know what I mean? How many smiles have we taken over now? You know?
There's so many interesting plot points and so many interesting characters at each of those plot points that it's like, take me anywhere, Oda. I don't give a fuck what we do, bro. Just keep. There's no break next week. I'm hype on that.
You just encapsulated the entirety of One Piece for me. Like, take us wherever, Oda. I'm here for it. Oh, and there's no break next week. Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah, that's all I had for this chapter, though.
Yeah, I think I'm good too, bro. Wow. Great discussion, as always. That's going to do it for this episode of the Project Manga Podcast. Thank you all so much for watching. If you did, smash a like. If you enjoyed the episode, hit subscribe if you're new. Hit the notification bell so we can chirp you when new content is live. And, of course, visit the description section where you can find our link tree. That's where you can follow us on all of our social media accounts like Twitter, where you can join our Discord. That's where you can listen to Project Manga wherever you normally get your podcasts, ways that you can support Project Manga by checking out our online store and Patreon. And with all that said, I think that'll do it for this episode of the Project Manga Podcast. Wrapping up, I'm your host, Knox.
And I'm Nickums.
We'll catch y'all next time.